Hi, this is Laurie with So Much Love Quilt Store in Granbury, Texas. Many of y'all have been in our store and seen this, our sample of a Luxe Cuddle blanket. And we've talked about how you make these. And I've told you that it's super easy if you have a long arm. And so today I'm going to show you, if you have a long arm or access to a friend's long arm, or want to come in and rent our long arm for this project, how you can take these beautiful this is a new product from Shannon Fabrics. They just launched it at the Houston International Quilt Festival, and we just got ours in this past week, and it is really super plush. It's gorgeous. And we're going to take it and match it with this cuddle cut piece of their pony. And we're going to use our long arm to put it together nice, quick, and easy, and make it into a simple blanket like this that's perfect for Christmas gifts. 1.5 yards for each side for this size. We're making this for the man in my life, so he needs a little longer one. So we're doing 2 yards and 2 yards. It'll give you a 60 by 72 inch cuddle blanket. If they need it longer, do 2 1/4 and get up to 80 inches. All right, let's get started. So we start by rolling our back onto the long arm, and you're going to do it upside down. So typically you would roll it with the backing up. This time you're rolling it with the top up. Now we're going to take our top, and we're going to place it right, I think I did it the long ways to make it a little easier. We're going to put this on top, face side to face side, just like we used to make when we used to make blankets. You do the right sides to right sides, do a stitch, turn it inside out, and you're done. We're going to do the same thing here. Okay, so I have pinned the top to the bottom, right sides together. I've pinned it so it will stay. I'm just going to come here. Oh, gotta turn my machine on. That would certainly help. I'm going to grab my bobbin. I'm going to put my channel lock on. If you don't have a channel lock, that's fine. Just do as straight a line as you can. And I'm going to run a line across the top. So now that you've got your top stitched, we're going to do the channel lock down the side, or we're just going to bring it easily. Whenever you do cuddle, you want 1/2 inch seams. So I've got a lot up here. I'm just going to trim it when I get done. Makes it easier for me just to leave a little extra and trim up later. Now when I get to the bottom, I'm going to put a little back stitch in because I'm going to have to roll to do the next one. So I'm going to pull up my bobbin, come back to the other side. Make sure that I'm at least 1/2 inch from the edge. Not 1/2 inch to the edge, so I'm just going to go back, scoot it over a bit, and start again. Put my back stitch in. Now I'm going to roll and repeat. So one thing that I'm doing while I'm making this is I'm pinning the bottom just to keep these from sliding over as I go. I'm going to go up about 1 inch from where I ended last time. I don't have my channel lock on, but you can see that it's going straight line all the way down just by pulling it. Make sure you put a little back stitch in when you stop. Actually, I do want to show it all. Okay, so when you roll, each time you roll, you want to just tug slightly on your bottom and kind of even it back up, because it will bunch as you roll it. And put your clamps on the sides to keep your back from bunching up too much. It's going to take 2 more passes. And this fabric is extremely forgiving, so don't worry if you don't have everything exactly right. It is not going to be a problem. Okay, this time I'm just going to roll it enough to get the end. Okay, so one side is a little longer than the other. As you see, here's our back because I've pinned this. So we're not going to go all the way down. Mark wants me to point out these fabrics we have over here. These are some new fabrics that just got released by Shannon Fabrics. I think this would make a gorgeous cuddle blanket, as well as these. This is a very unique pattern that they just came out with. These are great fabrics to use for home decor. Think about how this would look sitting on your couch or chair. So I rolled my fabric. I've tugged this down and gotten things nice and even again. And I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to go to about here, because there's the end of my quilt. And now I'm just going to go sticking on something. There we go. My zipper's getting a little close to my zipper under here. Stop there, put my back stitch in, because I need to leave an opening so I can pull this out. I probably didn't leave myself a big enough opening, given as thick as this fabric is. You can see how long these threads are. Can you zoom in? Mm-hmm. So look how long these threads are. Very, very plush, very long. So I might have needed to give myself a little extra room. It'll just be a tight squeeze. So now I'm going to take it off the long arm, trim in my threads. Don't really have to, they're gonna be inside. Doesn't really matter, but it's habit. I'm gonna unwind. Okay, so in some areas I had way too much fabric. This was on the side. One was cut a little longer than the other. So I'm going to just put it on my table and I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm going to leave a 1-inch seam and I'm just going to trim it off all the way around. I'm going to use my secure weapon to get rid of all of this so it doesn't get all over my table. Real important when you lay this out, it is really thick, so you need to make sure that you don't have part of your fabric there. So make sure that you go underneath and pull it tight so that you don't trim something that you didn't want trimmed and end up with a shorter blanket. Okay, now that we've got it all trimmed up, we're gonna pull from the inside out. Make sure we get our corners. And we are almost done. We could just close up that seam and leave our blanket like this, but I'd like to show you one way to do a finishing touch on it that will help it keep its shape, and we'll put it back on the long arm for that. Are you having fun there, Mark?
Wonderful.
Okay, so when I put things on the long arm, I'm gonna roll it all the way back first. Then, this gives it some tension as I'm rolling it back on this front bar. Now I can get a really nice, smooth, tight fit, since I've got some tension on the other end of the fabric. And that's important as you're working with this really thick fabric, so that it gets pulled tight and is not all bulky. Okay, so what we're doing now is adding this inside stitch. I showed you on this blanket how we have, you can barely see it on here because of the Luxe Cuddle, but there's a stitch running 2 to 4 inches inside, and it goes all the way around. And that keeps the shape of your blanket, and it keeps your corners from pulling out. So we want to go ahead and put that on this one. You can do all of this on your sewing machine. I'm just spoiled having a long arm. It is much faster and easier to load it and do it here. So I've got it on. I've got about several inches down, and I'm just running my stitch along the top. When I get close to the end, take off my channel stitch, and I'm going to go down the side. Put my back stitch in, cut my bobbin thread. We'll do the next side, and you're just going to continue on this way, just like we did the top, all the way to the bottom. The only thing you have to remember is to close up your stitch that you left open. I'll show you that when we get there. Would have been easier if I had put this on the other way with the shorter nap on top. I could see what I was doing a little bit more. It's really high stitches, and I can't even see them. Okay, so here is where I left an opening. I did leave this too close to the end. It really is better if you leave it on the side a little higher up so you're not having the corner. I went ahead and closed up my corner on my sewing machine before I put it on. So we're just taking the fabric, making sure that it's on the inside. I'm going to come over here real close to the edge. And I'm just going to sew this very close to the edge. It's kind of hard to see with this fabric, so I need to feel for that edge. Am I getting stuck on? And with this thick, plush fabric, you're not going to even see that. It just blends right in. Okay, now one last thing to do. I ended up over here. I want to put this back on to pull things tight. Okay, so now we just have to thread this side and then go across. Okay, so now our sewing is done. I'm going to take this off, cut my threads, and I'll show you the finished product. So we timed ourselves to see just how long it took. It took us 45 minutes from start to finish, including having my husband as my helper. It'll probably take you less time. So
that's not
but
nice.
We got it done in 45 minutes,
that's
start to
not
finish.
Nice.
Okay, so we have finished our project. There is our Luxe Cuddle throw with the beautiful cowhide on one side, and show them the other side. Very nice, and look how plush and luxurious that is. I am sure there are just 1 or 2 people on your Christmas list who would like one of those under the tree. If not, maybe 10 or 12 people. We've got lots of different types of cuddle blankets. We've got also strip quilts like this one here. And just kind of, we've got this black seal, which is lush. That would make a great cuddle blanket. As well as some of our pretty ones over here. We've got a pretty tan, great for the couch, for home decor. In the seal, we've got a purple with the rose. That's just like the one we showed you initially. That was in that dusty rose. We've got red. We've got a really pretty navy that's got different shades in it. Our red fox, it's always very popular. And lots of different fabrics to choose from. And I have another 8 bolts that are coming in this next week. So lots of things to choose from. This is a gray strip quilt, like the blue one we showed you. And this is an owl print. This is new. That would make a really lovely, lovely blanket like we just showed you how to make. So come on into So Much Love Quilt Store or order online through our website, somuchlovetexas.com, and make something wonderful for your friends and family this Christmas season. Remember to always so much love with every stitch with So Much Love Quilt Store, Granbury, Texas.